Why did you write, "The real question is not monitoring, but trust"?
Because the monitoring debate is kind of a distraction at this point. Monitoring is already here. Every tool we use generates signals of some sort. So the real issue isn't really whether visibility exists, it's whether leaders are prepared enough to handle it without breaking trust.
You say monitoring is already embedded in modern workflow. What do you mean by that?
Well, just open your stack, your time trackers, your chat logs, task histories, CRM activity, email threads. Every single thing leaves a trail. Even companies that claim they don't monitor are collecting massive amounts of data. It's just fragmented and unmanaged, so pretending monitoring is optional it's outdated.
Why are small and mid-sized companies at a disadvantage here?
As a small-sized company, the disadvantage is that we're stitching together 5, 10, sometimes 15 different tools to get a picture. None of them integrate cleanly, so visibility becomes uneven. One team is measured heavily, another barely at all. That's where fairness starts to break down. Kaamfu exists because smaller teams deserve enterprise-level clarity and transparency without all the chaos.
You talk about a 5-phase progression towards self-managing companies. Why is awareness so foundational?
This is a much larger conversation, but the reason awareness is so foundational is because you can't align what you can't see. You really can't accelerate what you don't understand, and you definitely can't become autonomous if leadership is blind. So awareness is the hinge point. It's uncomfortable, but it's necessary, and everything else in your organization builds on that.
Some people hear total workplace monitoring and immediately feel uneasy. How do you respond?
I get it. If monitoring is secretive or punitive, it's toxic, but visibility tied to goals, context, and fairness is different. The problem isn't signal, it's intent. So that's why governance actually matters more than the raw data itself.
What makes monitoring destructive instead of productive?
That's a good question. I would say hidden rules and inconsistent enforcement. Data used to shame instead of coach. If workers feel like the system is a trap, their morale collapses. But if they understand how visibility protects them, benefits them, and clarifies expectations, it actually reduces anxiety.
How does Kaamfu approach this differently?
We built Kaamfu as a structured environment from the start. So tasks, goals, roles, signal flow, all in one place. So visibility isn't something we just bolted on later, it's part of the architecture. And we've taken a very public stance on transparency because without that, none of this actually works long term.
Where does AI fit into this trust equation?
AI amplifies whatever foundation you give it. So if your organization is messy and political, AI will amplify that. If your organization is structured and fair, AI becomes a consistency engine. It can surface burnout early, highlight misalignment, and reduce bias, but it can't fix bad leadership.
What does ethical monitoring actually look like in practice?
This is a really good question. Ethical monitoring means workers know exactly what's being tracked and why, and even how it's being used. It means metrics tie back to real outcomes, not vanity numbers, and it means the data helps improve performance and well-being, not just extract more output. And it means leaders hold themselves accountable too.
If you had to simplify your position for a skeptical audience, what would you say?
I would just say, monitoring isn't going away. The only real choice is whether we use visibility to build trust or destroy it. Technology doesn't decide that, but leadership does.